Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. Happy Sunday. And boy, was I surprised when I found out what summons are available for free out of the upcoming Defender. Well, I don't know why I said upcoming, because it's launched today, the Defender Summon Pool. There is a lot of amazing champions in this, and you can get some of them absolutely free. Of course, you do have to get a little bit lucky, but there have been many people in my clan who have pulled some really good champions out of these Prism Shards, and there is one that you can farm absolutely free right now, and we're going to be working our way towards that. I want to talk about some of the characters in here that are available up for grabs. It is tempting also to want to buy a little bit more, but I I'm not sure how I feel about this headliner champion. I want to talk about the champions that are available here. Also, what you can do, obviously, to get a bit more ahead by getting it for free using the event that is live right now. And maybe for some people, something that you should be doing to wait for Friday's champion chase as well. Now, before we get started with the rest of the video, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started playing Raid yet, get out from under that rock. Download using the QR code in the top right hand of the screen to get Thol and Falbeard absolutely free, and Stagnite, Rector Drath, and Farrakhan the Fat at accounts level 10, 20, and 30. Don't forget, you can also get your hands on another Void legendary champion by the name of Tahanarak, and all you got to do is use the promo code Desert Queen in the first 48 hours of a brand new account. Okay, so we have Gear Ascension Tournament live right now. It is available for 3 more days, so you have Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, I guess, to finish that off. So I'm just going to be doing it today. There's no clan versus clan on Tuesday or anything like that. That we need to actually wait on this. So not only is there a Prism Shard up here at the top, there's another Immortal Soulstone, which is useful in Deck of Fates. I may be going into tomorrow's, and I may do some poll videos for that as well, because I'm desperately in need of red stars on my characters. Hopefully I pull something decent. But this is something that you should always take advantage of. Even if there is no Prism Shard in there, you should make sure you do these events to stack up these Soul Stones. So you get points, obviously, through doing Sand Devil's Necropolis and Phantom Shogun. It's not the same points. You do get more out of... actually, the extract is from Shogun, isn't it? And the oil is from Sand Devil. You actually get more points out of Shogun, which I believe, in my opinion, is actually easier than Sand Devils. I actually think the Sand Devils is very hard, and especially if you don't have the so-called, I don't know why I said so-called, but the Godseeker Aniri cheese, which almost all of us use if you have God. It's just the easier way to do it, right? You have Godseeker Aniri plus a max HP damage character. Newt is the best character, however, you can do it with other characters like Royal Guard, not Cold Heart because it's attached to a turn bar removal skill, but anyone with like 10%, 20%, like anything that has like a max HP damage skill, use it with Godseeker and Neri. I might do a video on this at some point, but yeah, it's quite hard to even like get up to like the 15 to 18 range. He's a hard boss. So yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate anyways. So I personally recommend people going for Phantom Shogun when doing these events, when it doesn't specifically force you into Sand Devil's Necropolis, because I just honestly feel that Phantom Shogun is a little bit of an easier fight. Now, luckily for me, I can do stage 25. I use this team right here: Michelangelo, Donatello, Thol and Falbeard, again, in my promo link, amazing character, Mithrala, and also Esther Dreamsong. He can be slowed, so you can actually slow Phantom Shogun, but you do want characters with higher red stars, right? That just helps bring down. I'll run the fight really quickly. I believe everyone is still geared properly. I just want to double check. Actually, oh, Mikey doesn't have his gear. Sometimes I flip his gear around because it's one of my best DPS sets. So let's put that back on him, and then everyone else should have it. So I'm just going to run one super. And the reason why I think Shogun is so easier, why I think he's easier, of course, than Sand Devil, is just because I would say it's a pretty basic fight. You do need one character. In this case, my Donnie is the one who actually like kind of takes the hits, because he is magic based at stage 25, so he's going to go into Mikey because he's spirit based. Everyone else is not. So he ends up tanking this stuff. Now, hopefully he doesn't die, because you don't want him to die, otherwise shit hits the fan. But you can land all sorts of debuffs on Shogun, including speed down. You can see that I also receive debuffs, including Enfeeble, which is why I have Mithrala there, to make sure that I cleanse everyone else. And if you take enough turns, eventually his permanently, the protected block passive skills, that eventually drops off as well. And I have defense down as here. The only thing is sometimes Mikey's debuffs don't land because he basically has that enfeeble until it drops off. But other than that, like if you have enough damage, it is, I would say, one of the easier fights to run. I can do this in less than a minute, you know, and this is going to get me, that's 40 energy, right? So that's going to give me 202. I got really lucky because if you get these lesser extracts, basically what I call the tier 1 drops, you get a lot of points for that. So you actually want more of the tier 1 points, more of the tier 1 drops than the tier 2 and 3, which is really unfortunate because you want the higher tier drops, but they give you less points for this milestone. So I spent 40 energy for 202, or let's just say it was 101, right? Like it's 101 per 20, so 101 divided by 20. That's roughly about 5 points per energy. So if I just take that, right, and what was the points requirement for the milestone? What was that at? 9,000. My QR code is blocking the way, but it's 9,000 points here. Let's drop the QR code for a second. Where is that? There you go. You can see it. That is 9,000 points for that. So 5, right? That was the magic number that I had, like 5 per energy. So, oh wait, 5 points per energy. So 101 per 20. We could just do that, right? I guess that's probably easier. My math is being dumb this morning. So 9,000 divided by 101, right? That's what I got on 20 energy, and then times by 20. You could do this for about up to 2,000 energy. Of course, that's at stage 25. It might take you a little bit more to actually get this done, but let me tell you that it is worth putting your energy for, because even though it's only a 6% chance to get a legendary, which I know is not high, there are going to be times where you will get this legendary, right? Like if you do enough of these, which happen quite frequently, there's usually like a free-to-play Prism Shard, I would say once a month. I don't know if it's a bit more frequent than that, but at least once a month, that you'll get some decent characters out of this. And it's basically like a condensed Sacred Shard. So if you're able to make progress towards this, I would recommend you do so. You can get about, I would say free to play, about 1,000 energy per day. So if you don't have a whole lot going on right now, if you've already cleared some of the current events for the fusion, then you have some spare or you have some extra gems. This is something that you should really consider doing. Now, as far as some of the other epics that are actually pretty decent in here as well, Hotatsu, as far as epics go, I think he is quite useful. I used him very much in my early and mid-game account. Nerix Blackhorn, he's a little bit of a newer character. Actually, he was from a hybrid fusion, I believe. But he's pretty useful as well. Attack all enemies, has a provoke, as well reflect damage, ally protection, counterattack, decrease speed debuff as well. And then Duke the Pierce is actually one of the best, I think, epic orcs that has good debuffs, especially for faction crypts. We have provoke, and then we also have decreased attack and defense AoE, right? If it's a critical hit. So you kind of want to have him make sure that he runs some sort of defensive crit build, right? His damage is decent. Decreased attack as well. Skull Crusher. Actually, a lot of people have still used him in in Demon Lord teams because he is one of the few characters that places an AoE counterattack buff for 2 turns. So pretty good actually to get some extra damage out there and some heal reduction if you need it for some of those. But yeah, there's some real top tier S tier champions in this list, right? You have GNUT, right? I call him Charizard. Like he's he's the Charizard of OG Pokemon. Like this guy, some might say he's overrated actually, but he still will help you significantly if you need help in dungeons. That max HP damage is just crazy, right? So he's still very useful. I still use him a lot. Some other good characters in here. FIRROL the Barkhorn is an S tier support champion. I honestly still believe that. The total amount of buffs that he does overall is crazy. He improves your stats even more so, plus 50 resist, accuracy, and 20% damage when your allies are under 4 or more buffs. Comes with a 60 resist all battle aura, so you can go for resist builds or resist cheese builds. 50% increased resist buff with perfect veil. Very useful for Hydra. This guy's an S tier Hydra champion. Block buffs, decrease accuracy, and then he also has speed down as well. I use this guy in my main Chimera team and also my top A team for Hydra. So FIRROL the Barkhorn, absolutely amazing. Of course, do we need to say more about WIXWELL? If you need to enable your Titus, or if you have Titus, or if you want to start working towards this, you need Vaultkeeper WIXWELL. I'm still looking for him, right? I still don't have him. So that's another reason why I'm going to be going into this, and I'm debating whether or not I want to spend to try and not bait summon, but to have more chances to summon this guy. He is going to be my 3 fusion token that I'm going to do at some point. right? So later in the summer, I think by July or August, I'll be able to do that. But I was hoping that maybe if I pulled him, that I would be able to save myself that, because he's going to be my first basically fusion change character for this one. So Valkyrie Wixwell, absolutely amazing in terms of what he does. Right, the value of shields increases the duration of ally buffs, absolutely crazy. And all of these characters, honestly, with the exception of maybe the Incarnate, I know she got a rework, but I just really don't think it is amazing. I wouldn't say she's terrible, but yeah, she's probably the worst one there. But all these other characters are very good. Ultimate Death Knight, we have recently reworked Galicia, Soul Guide. We have Harima, who is also very good for Hydra. I believe the provoke for 1 turn is going to be blocked. Pretty good character. Does a lot of damage, actually, for a defense champion. She does pretty good. Enemy ignored defense effects are decreased by 50%. I've seen her used a lot in PvP still, actually. And Freya Fateweaver from the Asgardian event from 2024 October, November, that kind of period, right? Very solid buffs. Block debuffs, turn meter for 20%, increased defense buff, shield buffs, like some pretty good stuff. And she has a provoke, an AoE provoke. Only a 40% chance to provoke, but still pretty nice. And we have the headliner, Female the Shepherd. And I gotta say, I'm not actually particularly pleased with this guy. I mean, it could be great for future faction crypts and stuff like that, but just as a general character, I think he's a very mid-tier legendary. I don't think that his kit's very good. He has an 80% chance to decrease turn meter by only 15%. I think at this point that is very low in Raid Shadow Legends. Like, there's other characters that can do way more for this kind of stuff. Hell, you can have epics that do like up to 75%. So, I mean, that's really low on a one-hit attack. We have an increased defense buff and shield buff on the team. Nothing insane by any means. It instantly activates when an ally is killed. But, one enemy hit, 75% chance of placing a stun debuff. Has a 75% chance of fully decreasing the target's turn meter. So luckily with books that can go up to like a full decreased turn meter, but that kind of kit is not, there's a lot of characters that can do this kind of stuff. It can do an AoE stun as well, but again, nothing groundbreaking by any means. Yeah, we can get a max defense, increases defense by 3% up to 30%, and max HP up to 50%. So that's kind of nice, but you have to land a stun. So if you're using this in PvE, it's not going to do anything at all. At least he's immune to the stun debuff, but only when he's under a shield buff placed by this champion's skill. So I don't know. As far as a headliner goes, the new Argonauts that came out this patch, I wasn't super thrilled about personally. But I am thrilled about the rest of these characters. So I think that if you are interested in, well, you definitely should do the free-to-play shard from the Gear Ascension event. And I wouldn't be surprised if some people pull some crystals on this as well. I actually am sitting on 30. So if I buy a pack, I'll get an extra free one. I haven't decided. But if you are thinking of pulling or paying and buying more, I would consider waiting. So this shard, the pool is going to be available all the way until Friday, and on Friday we have the champion chase. So the champion chase is going to have additional point milestones because you're going to need to summon up more extra fragments for Thisbe, the epic that you need for the fusion, and there's going to be a total of, I think, 75 fragments up for grabs, right? Is that what I've been told on champion chase? So the point milestones are going to be quite high. So if you save these right now all the way until Friday, you can actually let them automatically pull on Friday and you will get points towards that then. So I think that's the recommendations that I'm going to do. Even after I farm my my free to play one, I'm going to wait to pull this on Friday so I get some additional points towards my champion chase then. So just make sure you're doing that. There's no real need to pull this right away. Just wait until later. It will auto pull and you'll find out if you're lucky or not on Friday and get some additional double dipping points for champion chase. That's my personal recommendations. Let me know if you're going in on this event or not. Maybe you have some of the characters. That is actually the one problem that I'm concerned about if I were to spend money. I really want some of these characters, but I already have FIRROL and GNUT, and I don't necessarily need a second. Well, I've seen GNUT cheeses before, so I guess you could always have more than one of them. But yeah, I'm not too sure. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to spend, but I'm definitely going to do the Gear Ascension tournament. So make sure you run this and get your free champion. You never know. You might get those highlights absolutely free. Anyways, before we go, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started playing Raid yet, you should use the QR code that I removed from the screen. Right there he goes. Back. Get your Tholen, Falbeer, Stag Knight, Rector Drath, and Farragon the Fat at accounts level 10, 20, and 30. And don't forget that you can also use this promo code to get the amazing Void Legendary Support Champion to Hanorak. And all you got to do is use the promo code Desert Queen in the first 48 hours of a brand new account. Okay, that's it for me, everybody. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you all on the next video. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.